Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Um, I am so happy to be doing the second episode of my makeup tutorials. Sorry it's been a little while since I uploaded my first video. I've been trying to figure out what I wanted to do, and I finally got a couple of things that I wanted to try out and decided that I would like to share a specific sort of set of makeup that I got recently that I really love, and a sort of themed look, one of the things I really like to do. So today we are going to be doing sort of a twofer. First of all, I'm going to be sharing some of the items from the Colourpop Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon set. I absolutely love it. This sold out the first time that they released it, and so I waited and waited and waited until they re-released it and then ordered it pretty much immediately, and it is amazing. So I'm going to be sharing some different items, a look with it. And I'm also going to be trying out a few of the things that I talked about wanting to do in my last video. So one of them I wanted to talk about using beauty blenders. I've been wanting to try these. I haven't used them in a long time. So I just got these. They are the super generic Equate Beauty blender trio with vitamin E. And they come in some very unique shapes, sort of the standard one, this little small one, and then this odd, questionably shaped one. And then I also want to try out an eyebrow look. So I am completely inexperienced with doing anything with my eyebrows. So I found this kit called the $1 Billion Brows Bestsellers Kit at TJ Maxx, of all things, for $6.99. So we'll see if it was worth $6.99 or worth more. And with that being said, I am going to aim to make this video much quicker than the last time, so let's go ahead and dive in. I have already washed my face, cleansed it with the Neutrogena wash that I talked about before, and moisturized again with the Neutrogena. So I'm just going to put a little bit of this Hydro Boost Eye Gel Cream underneath my eyes. Just because I feel like it really sets a nice stage for putting on eye makeup. So just putting that on, and pardon me while I adjust to having this in the proper orientation, the landscape orientation. So I had to sort of rearrange things a little bit, so it might be a little awkward and off center, but we're learning. So my eyelids are a little bit stained because the makeup that I had on earlier was from one of my Urban Decay palettes, and it's a purple that's really pigmented, and it tends to really stain my eyes. So I don't have weird black eyes, I just have stained eyelids. I don't know which is better. Well, I guess stained eyelids are better than a black eye. Anyway, I'm going to immediately forget that I was going to use a beauty blender. All right, so this is starting out great. Let me get this thing open. Totally regret not opening this ahead of time, but I wanted to show the packaging. So now I'm going to waste time opening a package. All right, here we go. I'm going to use the little medium-sized one. I'm not really sure how this is supposed to work, so I'm going to put it on my skin, and then, oh, I see. Blend it. This is basically like an art tool. I'm going to see what it's like when I put some on the actual sponge. It kind of seems like it's soaking up my makeup, though. That I don't love, because just, yeah, it's just getting stained, but I don't know that it's really applying the makeup any better than my finger would. I don't know. We'll persevere. All right, I'm just going to dab this around my face and see what happens. I feel like it's not covering up the stains on my eyelids at all. Awesome. Great video. Great start. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna abandon ship on this. I don't love it. So that's a leave it. I don't enjoy that. I'm going to go back to the old standby, the tools that nature gave me, which are my fingers, and coat my eyelids, moving quickly, not taking up a ton of time. So, I'm a huge fan of Sailor Moon. I really liked the anime when I was younger. It came on Toonami. Really enjoyed it, but Didn't watch the whole thing because the thing about Toonami, at least where I was whenever I was growing up, is things would start over all the time. You would just get into it. And this happened with Dragon Ball Z. It happened with Yu Yu Hakusho as well. Maybe that might have been on Adult Swim. I don't remember. But you would get so far, and then it would just start over abruptly. And it wouldn't start all the way over at the beginning necessarily, but it would start over at like a weird point. Anyway, that happened with Sailor Moon enough times that I eventually kind of left off on watching it. But now that I am an adult, I have Hulu. And so I can watch Sailor Moon, and it's the newer dub, which I don't hate. I know that that is very polarizing. I actually didn't like Luna's old voice, and I'm just using, this week I'm using e.l.f. Perfect Finish HD powder, so it is a mess, but it is a very nice, very fair, translucent pressed powder. So I'm using that just softly over my face. Eyelids still stained, but that's okay. We're rolling with it. Yeah, so I've been watching my way through Sailor Moon, and I will say, dang, there's a lot of filler, right? I mean, it's crazy. So this is the blush set. This is Sailor Moon Colourpop Cat's Eye Pressed Powder Blush as this little lenticular. I really like it. It's got a little Luna face in it. This is the sparkly one. There's also a matte. It has a mirror. So I'm just going to put that on. I really like this color of pink. It's really like a candy pink. Love it. Putting it on the balls of my cheeks, apples of my cheeks, so to speak. And that probably looks super, super pink right now, but don't worry, I'll blend it. And also going for kind of a girlish look here, because I mean, what is Sailor Moon? She's a 14-year-old girl who just also happens to have mystical powers from the moon. So, this light is making my face look incredibly washed out. I don't know what's going on with that. Let me see if I can adjust it. It's a little nicer. Okay, this is a more of a warm color, and at first I didn't like it, but I think that that's more suitable. So I've used a Sailor Moon blush. I really, really like it. I find that it is nice for looking dressy. It's nice for casual. Just put it on the apples of my cheeks. Now, the highlighter that I'm going to use, because you guys know, I mentioned it last time, I love highlighter. I found this Kat Von D Alchemist holographic palette, again, at TJ Maxx for $3.99. $4 for this. This was originally like something like 30. I think now at Sephora it's marked down to maybe 16. But $4 for this is awesome. And it has lots of really nice colors. I'm going to use, we're just going to go with a whole pink theme here. So I'm going to use Pink Opal. And see, it's like a nice, it looks very, very white and chalky on the finger, but it's not. Putting it on the cheekbone. And this one's pretty subtle, but you can really build it up. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go for a really dramatic look today. So I'm going to build it up. Oh yeah. I think I'll go along the ridge of my nose as well. Now, I do not know anything about contouring. I just put highlighter on all the places where the bone is closest to the surface. So along the ridges of my temple and brow, along my cheekbone, and, you know, the ridge of my nose. Some people put it on their cheek or their chin. That does nothing for me. I don't know. I'm just going crazy now. So, I've got my highlighter. And now, let's dive into the eyebrow situation here. Again, $1 billion brows. I don't know if that's a brand that anybody has ever heard of a single time in the history of the world. But it comes with $1 billion brows concealer and highlighter pencil. It comes with universal brow pencil. Now that is an intense claim. Universal, but it goes with our theme of a guardian from space, right? This is $1 billion brows brow gel. I'm imagining this is a clear gel. And then this is a brush that I guess you can use to blend. Oops, I should probably not set that on the speaker. I have a little microphone, hopefully making the audio a little bit better. Anyway, I'm going to play around with this. I have no idea what to do with this. Add our highlighter on to add gorgeous definition for an instant brow lift. Instant brow lift, like use a concealer and to cover blemishes. Okay, so I love highlighter, so I guess I will try this pencil highlighter. So above the brow bone. Okay. That just looks like a weird taupe pencil. I don't love this. I'm confused. Maybe like this? Is this contouring? Is that what's happening here? I don't know if I'm ready for this. Does my brow seem lifted? Are you like impressed? Maybe here. I know that, you know, putting a lighter color up here can be nice, so maybe that's what they're meaning. I'm gonna listen back on this and be like, duh, that's obviously what it meant. Okay, well, I don't know about all that, but let's move on. Okay, universal brow pencil. Now, I do understand how a brow pencil works. I am not completely inept in the area of understanding how brow pencils work. It is like a brown color, so my eyebrows are pretty light. They look dark, you know, compared to this, obviously, but they're not incredibly dark. I'm going to use a small hand mirror rather than this screen, and let's see what happens. I'm going to just fill in my gaps. Remember, I've told you, 2006 was a rough year for eyebrows, friends. You guys are from that time period, probably know what I mean. This may have some gaps, some casualties. Is this giving me brow definition? I don't know. Oh, I do not like the way that weird pencil left. It's like cakey. That. Okay. So I've drawn some random brown smudges in my eyebrows. Does it look amazing? I don't know. I'm gonna use this brush. I guess this is supposed to make it more natural. Okay, all right. I'm feeling it. I'm really feeling it. Yeah, this is okay. My eyebrows look weird. Is it because I'm looking at them too much, or do they look weird? Not like you guys can answer. Okay, I'm gonna use Billion Dollar Brows Brow Gel. And yeah, this is clear, so this might just be so that you can do that thing where you brush your eyebrows upwards. And this is supposed to be like zhuzhing them up or something. I don't know. I have no idea. Does it look better if your eyebrows are spiky and tall? You tell me. Do my eyebrows look fashionable now? Or do they look like weird? This is weird. All right, I'm spending a lot of time talking about how weird this is. I think that's enough of that. Billion Dollar Brows. The jury is out on how $1 billion you are. And I just feel like my eyebrows look weird and heavy. Also, this one's much higher than the other one, and that's just my face. Maybe that's the brow lift from the pencil. Maybe it lifted my brow. Okay, we are going to go into, now that I'm done being ridiculous, we're going to go into my absolute favorite part of the Sailor Moon Colourpop amalgamation, which is the eyeshadow palette. Okay, I love eyeshadows, and this palette is so pretty. You can see I've already used it pretty heavily. I'm going to do the bright colors down here because I'm going to do a video all about a nude look because I really like the sort of nude colors that come with this, but not today. So I'm gonna get my brush and I'm going to start with Tuxedo Rose. Tuxedo Rose is this color. It's a very salmon pink. And I'm going to wet my brush. These eyeshadows definitely 100% do better with a brush than a sponge applicator, I have found. Okay. And I'm going to just start putting it on. Now, I was talking about how I watched Sailor Moon when I was younger and then I'm watching it again. So I'm watching it again, and man, it is so filled with extraneous stuff. Um, there's like, as my husband calls it, it's very monster of the week. It's true because every single week, Jadeite, one of the four minions of Queen Beryl, comes from the, I don't know where he's coming from, the underworld cave, and starts a new business venture to harvest the energy of the Sailor Scouts and the people of the Juban district of Tokyo, which apparently is just like a really special area of Tokyo. And he always fails, but it results in interesting adventures. So in the cartoon, Tuxedo Mask, the romantic protagonist in a tuxedo, he's mysterious, he has a mask, go figure, um, is kind of like mean to Usagi, who used to be called Serena in the American dub. Now they call her Japanese name, which is Usagi, which um, I think is like the word for rabbit. So like her little buns. Um, and I don't like that. Like, I find him to be obnoxious with that. I am switching now to this darker pink called Love for the Crease. So, he's mean to Usagi, and I don't find that romantic. The way he's always like making fun of her, like in a mean way. It's not like in a cute way. Oh, that I've gone a little dark on that because I added a lot of water to my applicator by accident. So when you're adding a darker color into your crease, just it again, it helps to pull your eyelid out and then make it in the outer half of your eye. And I like to do kind of a little point shape painting sort of on the skin like that. Anyway, so Tuxedo Mask is kind of like not likable. So, but I still am really enjoying the show. So I started getting the Eternal Edition mangas, which are these really beautiful compendiums of the Sailor Moon manga. And come to find out that one, they are 10 million times better than the show, much more condensed, not all that filler. I think they were really trying to fill the show out versus the sort of quick pace of the manga. And Tuxedo Mask is like very romantic and also like a little bit endearing and goofy and awkward, um, which I really like much better than the cartoon Tuxedo Mask. And I feel like the cartoon really rips you off on the romance, even though it's supposed to be a romantic show. All right, so I've done my darker color in the crease, and whenever it dries, you'll be able to see the difference a little bit more. Now, I do want to get some more definition of lightness because right now this is very flat to me. So I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to clean brush. I'm going to add this color called Silver Crystal. It's right here. It's a very pretty metallic blush. Now, I do not love this texture that Colourpop has with these sort of metallic pigments. They tend to just flake apart and not stick on very well. So you really have to pile them up. So I've got it on the brush, and I'm going to take it and put it right in the middle of the eyelid here so that it catches the light in the middle. All right, yeah, I like that. It gives so much more definition. You can really give more shape to your eye if you do darker colors where there's a shadow, and then lighter colors where things come out. So meaning like the curve. The top of the curve of the eyelid having a lighter color will give a little more definition and make your eyeshadow less flat. I've discovered that. So anyway, if you're wanting to get into Sailor Moon, I highly recommend, or get back into Sailor Moon, if you watched it when you were younger and you've never read the comic, I recommend so much reading the Eternal Edition one because it's absolutely beautiful. You can get it on Amazon for pretty inexpensively. Also, I do realize that that's pretty uneven. I'm going to go back and fix that. And I've just been really enjoying it. And especially because Sailor Moon is sort of having a renaissance with, um, you know, millennials and I guess slightly younger. So there's a lot of Sailor Moon stuff out there to enjoy and love to really get that nostalgia going. Okay, so I've got a lot of pink going on. I really want to make this pop by using the yellow, which is called Justice. I think that that's going to take this from just a pink, strawberry shortcake sort of eyeshadow look to something a little more unique. So I'm just going to wet my brush again, get my yellow, and I'm going to take this yellow and put it here up near the brow. And man, I love that. I don't this maybe because it's the color of Sailor Moon's hair and she's the pretty guardian who fights for love and for justice. Perhaps, I guess it makes sense. I mean, I really probably would have named the yellow something after the moon myself, or maybe like Venus, but I also was not consulted on this Colourpop palette. Okay, I want to wrap this up. I want to get going a little quicker now. Got my yellow on there. This is sort of my accent color. So I've got my base, my pink, which is Tuxedo Rose. I've got my crease, which is Love. It's a little darker. I've got this Silver Crystal, which is why this pink is called Silver Crystal, but okay. So right here, and then Justice as my color going up to my brow. Now, I screwed up and ran out of my regular eyeliner. So I have to rely on my Ico Fat Liquid Eyeliner, and I'm just going to keep it super simple here. And just do like a really small cat eye. And same thing over here. We'll see if I can get it even in one pass. My left eye is not my vision in my left eye is not as strong as the one in my right eye, and my vision in my right eye ain't that strong itself. So, okay, good enough. That is my motto here. Good enough. So now that I have got my eyeliner, I've got my eyeshadow, I'm going to put on a quick coat of mascara because that really gives a finished look. Quick coat of mascara. Top and bottom. Now, I didn't do any eyeliner on the bottom. That's okay because my mascara will inevitably smudge just a little bit down there and create a sort of. Now, there is the look. So the last thing, well, there's two things. First of all, there is the glitter. This kit came with 2 liquid glitter gels, and this one's called Moonlight Legend. It's pink. It's amazing. And I mean, honestly, why not? So I like to pile this stuff on. I love, 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 love glitter. I I had glitter on my graduate school art final project. So that tells you how serious I am about glitter. Now this glitter does have the tendency to kind of look like you have specks on your face from far away, and that's a drawback. Finally, this set came with 4 different lip colors. I'm just going to go with a sparkle gloss, and this one's just called Sailor Moon. Are they all called that? No, this one's called Usagi. Okay, so this one's just called Sailor Moon, and it's like a peach gloss. All right, and that is my look. I think that is super, super cute myself. Let's see if I can do the Sailor Moon hand gesture. I don't know if that was it or not. I would need to look at a picture because I can't remember and everything is reversed in the camera. But thank you so much for enjoying, hopefully, another makeup tutorial. This is your Sailor Moon look, a horrific experience with these makeup sponges, and a meh experience with $1 billion brow kit. I'm gonna play around with that some more and maybe review it again a second time, but the jury is definitely out. But until next time, I'm Lucy. This is Makeup. Have a great day. Thank you so much for being here. Bye.